Limbus Company. Hello! Here we have a rebellion, De Las Muscles, Pilgrimage of Compassion. Okay, shall I use the Spirit Craving first, as per usual? Nothing special around there. That was funny. For context for anyone that is watching as well. I was up until now in a Go Splitter, and then I was like, yeah, you know the line that I always say when I start the stream, and then I didn't even finish my sentence and started saying Limbus Company. How I always start the Limbus streams. But yeah, here we are. The collab with True Limited, which is gonna be Scary Monster. So of course, since it's a new one, you need to start with pulling. But yeah, to catch everyone up before that, this is the current Rupture team with Jing, Full Stop, and another Jing. And Blade Lineage Mentor. Get ready. I don't have that many pulls. I built up a few. If it comes to it, I will pay. Especially since I do want the announcer. Just like last World Pilgrims, I got everything but lost everything. And I have half of everything and I will get everything. But yeah, this extraction is gonna challenge my ego curse I have. For everyone who doesn't know, back to zero limit. But yeah, for everyone who doesn't know, I have a thing on getting more egos than identities, which ended up me exchanging much more identities than in the end the ego. To be fair, there are way more identities than ego in general, but still got a lot missing there. And then if you look at the egos, I got such a hand view. I started this season. If you remove from the Burgers and the Battle Pass sword, then there wouldn't be much of a difference. Maybe like the line of equipped one would be different. But yeah. I generally get more egos than identities. That's definitely something. So now this one, with only being collaboration limited egos, it's gonna be really interesting if my curse makes it easier for me, or is it now suddenly gone? And is streamer luck even a thing on my end? I have one, but it bought cows my suspiciously not lunacy shaped pocket. Your lunacy less shaped pocket. But yeah, I would say without further ado, we'll just jump right in and get the egos. Unbreathing Glory Gregor, Command Meltdown Faust, and to remain oneself on loop. Let's go. Okay, maybe upgrade. Because of from prior knowledge, I know that the limited have a different color. Do not upgrade. I don't even have all two-star identities. That's also another thing. Just simply don't have. Yeah. So yeah, that was the 3 ports, and now the lunacy. Ah! There we go! 40! Let's see, who do we get first? Gregor! Don't feel the absence of brilliance. Hello, Gregor. It's the one who has a free slot. That's just another thing. That's just another thing I need to show everyone. To be fair. Well, another thing is that every single one I have E.G.Os on, if I did not exchange for them, only the one that I pulled for have always been a free slot. Like I got I pulled Hex there. Lasso was the only thing I got from Season 5. I got Tutorial Cake, yeah? And Fluid Sack from the 3 watts, since everyone was all in the agreement that Fluid Sack was the best thing. And Everlasting I exchanged because she's my favorite. And I did nothing, technically. I got Contempt Awe, and I got Pursuance, Regret from there, and then Crash Bound Pass, not even when there was the raid up for him. That's also insane. And I got Carbonous Wailing. To be fair, I couldn't go for any more than that. And then I got Fell Bullet and Asymmetrical Inertia. From the random pudding at both identities that I would have wanted. Then that was Battle Pass, right? I think. But yeah, Wing Beat from Vapurgus, Bygone Days random pull, and other blossoms. 100-footed Death Magnet. Yeah, okay. I keep forgetting. And Pursuance. And Sanguine from Vapurgus side. Only. And then Otis, the insane one. With the Mansion Shredder, Yasunyata, Tato Rupan. And then Gregor now finally having another slot. Finally some more for my second favorite sinner. But yeah, let's go back to the extraction. Yeah, this was like my first repeat on pulling. Let's go. Go to the 50 now. $60. And a $70. $80. $90. And $100. $110. Oh, Ziggler. What did I tell you guys? That's a cyan one? What did I tell you guys? I get all the E.G.Os. Das Ding hier gerade viel wett war. Okay, one identity and one ego. If I so correct. Okay. Ryosh. And the other one should be an identity. Ah, Soldato. Dude, when I did the 1 free season 6 10 pull with a guaranteed, I got 2 Soldato. But there you go. Back to back E.G.O. I don't have a lot more points. Oh. Okay, 2 identities. What do we get? A Marcel identity. Awesome. Enemy destination, yeah. W-Comp. Did W-Comp have a raid up on this, or what is happening? And the other one is single. Okay, I wasted 400. Okay, great. And then the last 10 put I can do. Nothing. Exactly. Yep. Not enough anymore. But, in technicality, in the next 10 pulls-ish, I should get the other 2. Since that's also a thing that I have sometimes. That I never get a reason to continue pulling after 200. Yeah, that's okay. Let's just the regular tickets. When will I ever get a new one? Elastic. That's nice getting a double upgrade. Should I continue with these quads or top up? Should I? Top up first, okay. For safety reasons. Yeah. I love saving money because it's all in dollars. Yes, I agree to the terms of service that I don't read. Okay, my balance is doing fine. That's good. I'm not going into negatives, which is good. Play multiple gacha games. So, almost done. Topped up and now authorize. Yo. Holy moly. Holy moly. Hmm. And now, announcer, all the sinners. Oh, awesome announcer. Dante. The end. So now we got one more pulse. Announcer, the 12 step, I see. Let's continue. One more pulse. Oh. And the other ticket. Okay.
나는 유리하면서도 비범하게 심장을 베는 법을 알고 있어.
Huh. Yo. I know of the ways to cut through a heart with elegance and eccentricity. Right, linear salsa. Come on, it's 2 he's that I need. Come on. Oh, bet. Oh. I got one early one. Let's see, after more. Repeat! Lord! Hi, Lord! Hi, my Lord! I can do 2 more pulls and I pretty much only need 2 more pulls. Let's do 1 more and then let's see after that. Come on, this is not the chance. Upgrade. Aw, damn it. It would have been perfect. What now? Gonna do 1 paid and then go to the 200. Maybe we get one. And now on this temple, you will get all 3 E.G.Os at the same time. Should we do like 7 single pulls to get to the 200 completely? I might get one in those single pulls. Okay. Should I do the 1 paid one? Yeah. Maybe the paid one gives extra luck. No. Secrets breaking everything. Okay. 98. $199. Oh. 1 more. Could have been so huge. Have it. Well, there we have it. There we have it now. Yay. 200 out of 200. I'm missing 2. It's not even a bad one. Now to this temple. Yeah. Maybe an upgrade? Aww. Finally! I knew! of the few ones that I'm missing, finally! Hi, Wizard, who aids the big brother to his endeavors. Great to finally have you on board. Only been a while. Sure. We'll continue onward with the Singapore. Gamba. Fine. Upgrade. Oh. Me. Yeah. Yeah, die wants it cheaper for more points. Yeah. You got anything? Ha! I got white. I got white Synclesian identity. I got a few things, so one of them being on the radar. My favorite Syncler, you go white. Oh, this game is perfectly without any issues. But yeah, now on Ascendo, I was able to get the Unbrilliant Glory as the only one. So because yeah, I have the 200 for the exchange. I got it's the only one. Then I got White Mist. What does this do? Plume, Avras, Blubber, Shield. Okay, Shielder. Only 15. That definitely was to clash with, but this one might as well cost 20 sanity instead. I think generally it's better. But let's see, what else do we got? We got Red Lineage Setsuise. We got a replica for her. We got red eyes, more like white eyes. More like white eyes. And then we got W Corp, and finally a new 2-star with a few that I'm missing. From the glorious middle, we got a Lord repeat. This is great. It's basic. It's all coming together, guys. The game wants me that I get to heal, because it's the only slot that I'm missing, and I'm not allowed to get because I already got and pulled the Calcia. He was also the only one whose slaughter was missing. Red eyes, more like white eyes. Oh man. Carbonous wailing, more like carbonous white. So stupid. Well, I got multiple options. Either actually doing Rebellion de las Masas, Pilgrimage of Compassion, Mirror Dungeon this week, or really weird Refraction Railway. Because my second team is not ready at all. Not at all. And when someone in the is half what it is.
야밤의 달빛과 함께 사라지는 저의 필요이요. 그러나 부름이 필요하시다면 달이 구름.
I wanna see stages. Oh. But anyway. We got the decision between normal and hard, but as it says right down here, clearing hard difficulty stage will automatically clear the corresponding normal difficulty stages as well. Yeah. LCPC1. The unknown sea. Warning. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the first time I'm actually doing one intervallo, if we could call it. Technically, it is an EX intervallo. But yeah. That I'm actually doing on hard, but I haven't done any of the others. I can awesomely navigate through everything. But yeah, every other interval I have done on hard difficulty, I've got a rerun. There's also something I could do. Yeah, missing out on a lot of lunacy. We got multiple options: Rebellion, Mirror, Curse, Reflection, Railway, or hard but other intervals. Rebellion. I must have been I'm more leaning towards that since an event and the what most of the spoilers. What about my mod? What's my mod opinion? Basically has no spoiler. No, I don't mean that intervallo. It's not. I'm not talking about getting spoilers of the story. I mean getting spoilers of the story of the collab. But maybe someone coming in and saying so, yo, final boss is something, or so. That's what I'm more worried about. But last time I was able to caught up for everything, including Spring Cultivation, during the event period. I only had to go through SCP Regular Checkup, Nocturnal Sweeping, Surrendered Witnessing, and Spring Cultivation to get there. Yeah, while the Spring Cultivation event was there, I basically caught up to everything. So what's the plan now with this? If you do Harpot first, you can get on see you can potentially get on one of the E.G.Os. You then get. You mean both E.G.Os? Since I can exchange one. And with the rewards you from doing that, you can also exchange Ishmael E.G.O. maybe. We did And then, when you do the story, you get the max amount you can get. But I can also first go for the tickets for more pulls. I can also go for the extraction ticket. Also, I love that both banners have effects. That's awesome. I mean, I will definitely have a stream about. I don't think the Call of story is good enough to care about. Ouch! That kind of hurts. I was looking forward to the story. As I love it's on the map. It's just a black hole. What are the intervalos that bothering me? Like even Arknights fan. I mean that already sounds like a collab. What a golly, remember? They really should do an interval of Hell's Kitchen. What's that interval? See? No. You guys don't believe what I just noticed. It's the typical not going back. I forgot to clear the progress at EX, cleared on C. I went back to every single intervalo and counted to check if I claimed everything. How did I miss that? Check productivity. I need to check for everything apparently. I got product. I got outcast. I need to check for everything. Unloving. Oh yeah. Reminder, this white-haired guy exists with purple eyes. Never heard of them, ever seen. The unconfronting, all. Head sketch already did look through, unchanged. So that's cool. Yeah. Oh, this one. I didn't diss him, I only said that he never appeared again. I also really like him. You just said that he never came back. Evil the Fire, we got Christmas, we got, and there's the hard mode. Too clear. Is the story the same? Well, that's what I asked. Or is there like some minor differences just to make some haha funny moments? There we go! There's another one! There we go, we got another one! Yield my flesh to claim their bones. Heartbreaking got everything clear. Come on. Claimed. I'm killing time. I mean, I pretty much was there when the event was there, but just wasn't able to do hard mode. You're devious. Yeah. I mean, that one is the obvious, because I think that's the first one where I did notice that I forgot it first. On my own. Because on my first attempt I wasn't able to actually EX clear in cassette, which apparently is a normal thing. Or the dream ending. That would be so sad. Okay. It would be so sad. Especially if it's a complete character. ACP regular checkup. Yeah, okay. Golub gives WXP bonus, by the way. Return is sweeping. It's just so sad that the second half of Return is sweeping got lost in the what? Oh, Ricardo. Random witnessing. Yeah. Spring cultivation. That would have been funny. I guess we do some more pulls. I guess we do some more pulls. How many? 9 I'm missing. I only need Honglu or Faust, either one of them, and either big go mode. After you finish, don't forget to go to normal and collect the lunacy again. Oh! That is devious! You can automatically go do hard mode, but then never claim norm. Oh my god. That's devious. I don't want more. Give it like a normal pull show up with the color. Yeah, come on, we got fast, come on. Oh. Technically, I would need sub pulls to try and get a certain manager. Last pull before we go back to it. Maybe the upgrades? After upgrade? No. Sad. Okay. Oh my. I forgot. No matter. So I think everyone is on board on doing the hard mode. If you had all E.G.O, you'd be done already. Listening to a Sinclair E.G.O is cooked. So, what's everyone saying? Are we going for a hard mode or hard mode of the new event? Which do we go? New event! Okay, it's the... I mean, why not hard mode? Both are hard mode. Just skip the story and doing quick fights. Yeah, I have the law team. It shouldn't take that long. Still can't believe that Happy Bones was one of them. Really don't want to go into into Pilgrimage of Compassion right now, because I want to get the full bonus, so I don't need to replay that much. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, it is fine, because I remembered Makel in District 20 actually had actually had it so you could only choose Don and Heathcliff, but now I actually have good Dons and Heathcliffs. To be more precise, one in each and 1.5. I think the best bet would be to do the hard amount of the other ones. Stripping out an active. I'm bored with that. I was kind of excited on it, but I guess it gives Spinner more time to finish it. So yeah, I guess I got a bunch of streams now. I will probably stream earlier. I'll be it. I guess the perfect time for me to go also BRB. Need to go. Be quick. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So, I guess I would just get some extra time for maybe the event and the other hard difficulties. I guess I will be streaming tomorrow again, Limbus Company. After doing the what? To continue doing intervals if I don't finish them on the day one. Technically speaking, I could do them on my own time. They're not that much relevant to everything. Cool. It's hard to say. Let's see. How much time do I even get at how much free time in between do I have to actually do the hard difficulty? Actually quite a few. I'm honest. Only saying that you could do those before the story because it would reduce the grinding you need to do. Yeah. But it would go against the Twitter and Blue Sky post that they talked about pilgrimage of compassion. Then I guess it fits too. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just... let's do the... I guess I just have to do some more grinding. Is that bad? Is that better than some other intervals I had? Like E.G.O was terrible. Oh yeah. LC PC 1. Unknown seed. Okay. In gloom and sloth weakness. Weapon 10 times. Oh! Awesome! We have the Lord in. That's enough. That's enough. They failed. They failed when they gave me Honglu. Also, fixed announcer Amia. I already only have her equipped. It wouldn't do any difference. Too bad we go. Finally, after almost 1 hour. I was exploring a lobotomy corporation branch when my consciousness sinks into the depths. The sense of cognition, itself a concept without form, floats into the shadow of an ever-widening river, swept up in its currents to nowhere. Then we ran into an abnormality, but Sauda told us that Pyongyang's lobotomy corp branch would be free of any abnormalities. Abnormality, which had appeared out of nowhere, was more otherworldly than any we had encountered so far in our journey, and deep blue. It was fathomlessly blue, and seemed to have a pull that endlessly drew us into itself. Just as I was about to recall this abnormality. Ding! Leave me alone! Ding! A myriad of sceneries and a flood of incalculable thoughts crash into my mind like wild waves before ebbing away from its shores. I was already lost and adrift, somewhere within my own consciousness, when I realized this. Just how long am I going to be adrift? The sensation of my own consciousness floating away is quite the unfamiliar one. I floated about in that strange state for a while. An unfamiliar voice ceases to aimlessly the drifting consciousness. Are you Dante? The fog of my vision clears as the voice breaks through the waves. And a concerned expression comes into view. Yes, I am. Ah, what a relief. Gregor, I think Dante has come to. So, who are... I was about to ask further questions to the stranger, with particularly long, animal-like ears, but... I felt the drowsiness coursing back with the terrifying memories of the dream, rendering me unable to speak. I have to get a hold of myself. After an indeterminate amount of time had passed, I barely managed to wake myself from slumber to get a grasp of my surroundings, only to find myself surrounded by more unfamiliarities. There was that stranger from earlier, sitting atop a rock and suddenly taking in the sights. A young girl who probably saved my life. Wait, so... why those animal ears after all? Okay, that's not important right now. I have to prioritize figuring out just where in the world I ended up in. So, where... You're standing by the Iberian coastline. How are you feeling? A little out of it, but I'm okay otherwise. Area? Huh. We're not talking about the fact that she can understand us? Yes, we're in the area. Well, given that we are next to an ocean, maybe I drifted all the way to E.G.O.'s Great Lake? Iberia was an unfamiliar name, but that was all I had to go on, given that the city was still full of more unknowns than knowns to me. I radioed your colleagues when you briefly woke up earlier. They'll be here any minute. I see. Wait, my colleagues? You must have run into the sinners then? Look at the The fog off my mind immediately cleared as soon as I realized that the sinners were all nowhere to be seen. Sinners? I think so. I ran into them earlier. They were looking all over the place for someone with a block for their head. It was a pretty unique description, so I could tell right away that you were the person they were looking for. So this clockhead does come in handy. Manager bud! Dante! I'd been walking up in an unfamiliar place to an unfamiliar face, and in the midst of this all-around sense of displacement, the faces that appeared before me were certainly a sight to foresaw us. Gregor, Honglu! Miss Rabbit here told me she found you unconscious by the ocean, and yeah, I came as fast as I could, and oh boy, I was worried that something bad might have happened. Glad to see you're doing fine. Were you lost at sea? I don't know. Well, I do think I'm fine though. I guess not having any way to drink water is finally coming handy. You should go get that checked out just in case. Wait, yeah, it's waterproof, right? that would be something if it's not. Gregor takes a moment to steady his breathing, then modestly casual quip as he lights a cigarette. Well, he doesn't seem that concerned. Maybe we are not actually in that much danger. So, what happened? Where are we? Remember entering that lobotomy corp branch Chichin told us about? Yeah. Yeah. We ran into a new abnormality and got sucked into it before we had the chance to do anything. I wonder, was the abnormality shaped like an oddly black hole? Man, I really thought that was it for us, especially when you getting sucked in there too, Manager Bud. But when we came to, despite waking up with our faces down in some ditch, we were all fine without a scratch. Though there was quite the mess when we realized that you had gone missing. We wanted to search for you immediately, but it took a while before we got a better bearing of where we were. So we're not at E.G.O.'s Great Lake. Some of us considered that to be a distinct possibility, but it's unlikely. E.G.O. was really certain that we are not in District 21. She did concede that we might be in an unknown area within the Great Lake of the outskirts, but that doesn't seem likely either, given what the rabbit-eared lady there said. The outskirts region of the Great Lake? I have met all kinds of people from all over Terra, but I have never met anyone who referred to the Iberian Sea that way. Terra? Iberia? As I found myself puzzled by these unfamiliar terms, a very obvious question suddenly struck me. Speaking of which, who are you? Really? You fellas haven't introduced yourselves to each other yet? It's just that it's all just a lot to take in. It's understandable. You did just wake up from a pretty harrowing experience. She is, actually, would you like to do the honors yourself? I'm Amiya, the leader of Rhodes Island. Please, just call me Amiya. I'm Dante, manager at Limbus Company. I know I'm late, but Thanks for saving my bacon. It seems that this is a rodeo island. It's a pretty big corporation, but trades off ominously and scratches his head before continuing with some mild trepidation. This young lady with the rabbit ears doesn't know what the head is at all. As far as I know, there aren't any organizations in Terra with the same characteristics as the one Mr. Gregor explained. At least not with a name like the Head. I'm so sorry, it's Rhodes Island, not Rodeo. Sorry, Craig was kind of bad with names. So, what are you saying is that we are not in the city anymore? It would be weird for any higher up at these huge corporations who know less about the Head than we do. Let alone be completely clueless about it. Well, maybe we have tumbled into a previously undiscovered zone of the outskirts. Or the ruins, probably. Or maybe we have really found ourselves in a completely different world. If the conjecture is correct, we are in way bigger trouble than I thought. This wasn't like this at the time we accidentally stranded ourselves in the outskirts via a door in the corridor. Amiya stared at me with some concern as though she felt my distress. I think I can draw a connection to something else that's happening here. Really? Yes, recently, anomalous signs and events have been occurring in Iberia ever since a mysterious dimensional door appeared at sea. And it's been said that this dimensional door is connected to something very, very distant, to something that we have never observed before, so it seems reasonable to theorize that the dimensional door is when we managed to cross over to this world. I really would have appreciated fast input. Where did all the other sinners go anyway? A bit late in the uptake to be gawking around for the other sinners now, don't you think? They are the settlement near here, where they are all helping out with various arts and events of the village, while taking turns searching for Dante, of course. You know, I never thought about how difficult it would be to search for someone when we are like fish out of water, too. Man, I got even a wink of sleep since yesterday. Everyone's got to be really tired then. So it's just the two out here for now? No, Ishmael and Yi are the other half of the search party. And we just happen to be the last group in the rotation. We must be searching elsewhere to find you, Manager Bot. We got the news early, fixed some of his comms gear. But the other team didn't. Yeah, we got lucky. The other team were. We don't have any way to get in touch with them, so they'll probably continue their search until their shift is done. Oh, are we talking about the village you mentioned earlier? Right. You have not been there yet, huh? I guess it's a bit of a beaten path. Well, we're going to have to rendezvous with the other sinners anyway, so let's head to the village for now. Something seems to pique Amiya's interest, as she fell into a contemplative silence before carefully speaking up. We'd like to accompany you there. Sure, I don't see why not. You helped us find Manager Bot, and more importantly, you seem to know a lot more about this place than we do. I don't actually know Iberia that well either, but I should be able to be of some help. They have closed their borders and have practically locked out any foreign influences from affecting them, but I did get a briefing before the mission. Closed borders, huh? And how did you get in, Miss Amiya? Well, we followed Dr. Kaltzit's directions and illegally crossed the country border. Illegally? Oh, does it mean you crossed the border without obtaining any permission, Amiya? We had to cross the border somehow in order to investigate how another dimensional door came to be. Is it normal for pharmaceutical companies to be doing that? Larger pharmaceutical companies often dispatch their agents for missions. Yes, Rhodes Island is, in its essence, a pharmaceutical company researching treatments for people infected with oropathy. But we also work to prevent and assist in the management of various situations that can occur in high-risk areas. High-risk areas, huh? Wait. What about your companions? I doubt you came all the way here on your own. That's, we are forced to split up due to certain forces that were in pursuit. Wait, stop! Mia's ears twitched as she came to a stop and began scanning the surrounding area. Then, yeah! As we stood about confused, Mia noticing something, pointed toward the seashore, hidden behind large and cracked rock formations. What are we supposed to do, huh? Here we saw someone wielding a lengthy greatsword. It's her! We can with two familiar faces. It's them! I can't move. You're in the way. You're in the way. You need warriors, you do. We have had ample experience in battling monsters who are much like them. Listen, I'm not worried, it's... Come on. Better to have 3 furnaces in one, right? Besides, you're the first person we ran into out here, so... We've got a lot of questions to ask. Yiseng, Ishmael! Dante, you're unharmed. And here I was, getting ready to, for a 3 days long search. But I believe... we were all really worried that we might never be able to find you. We managed to find them thanks to the help of Miss Amiya here. Amiya? Are you two acquainted? Not a good time for a reunion. It can wait until after we take out the sea monsters. Scotty, are those organisms the sea bonds Dr. Kalsit mentioned? They are sea terrors, to be specific. The less sophisticated ones among them. And they are probably here for me. Sea terrors? I hear the sticky noise of something vicious slithering against the rocks. When I turn to face the origin of the unsettling noise, I smell the heavy, wet sense of crime. At the end of my gaze awaits strange monsters, unlike distortions, unlike abnormalities, unlike anything I'd ever seen. It is as though the sea itself is encroaching to the land. I was almost certain we were under the Great Lake, but I'm not so sure anymore. Your experiences with the fixed scent of Brian at the Great Lake must have put her in a very mood, as Ishmael seemed to be a lot more apprehensive about these monsters than anyone else. Do you think those creatures could be whales or mermaids? I don't know. The Great Lake and the outskirts are full of unexplored mysteries, after all. Dante, what do your senses say? It's unclear. I'd say its closest comparison could make is with the whales, but even that's not conclusive. More enemies on the horizon. We should prepare for battle. Doesn't seem like we can talk things out with them, though. So, let's take them out. What a great story. I'm excited to work alongside Limbus Company. Sinking! Oh boy, the 33% minus HP convert final point to unbreakable. Oh, that's awesome. Immer mega, ja. Some people hyping these things up before the I just thought they looked interesting. Awesome, Ishmael. It's always Ishmael's force that lies within. So this feel, you know, this kind of feels like how the I kind of feel like now how the enemies feel in unfocused battles when they fight against me. Everything is open. Awesome. I mean, I don't know, Arknights. I'll probably give it another try. I know that. For now, it's just Limbus Company. And now it's time for payback. Would be good if it had a PC version, so I didn't have to download the probability of that game. I don't even have that much storage on my phone. Imagine like an abnormality type of enemy and they have negative coins. They don't even have sanity to actually abuse them. I remember that. I remember the mission accomplished though. From the one time I did play it and then stopped playing it because of tower defense. Remaining enemies have retreated to the sea. Good work, everyone. You didn't even do anything. It was Scotty. Yeah, I didn't think I did have to deal with anything remotely like the outside the Great Lake. You can say that again. It would have taken us the whole day if Scotty character didn't occupy the other half when Miss Rabbit helped us from the distance. They did nothing. As we were catching our breath after the battle, I heard a brief hum. When I turned to look at its source, I saw Scotty glaring at me with palpable alarm. Strange people will transform. And ahead of a clock? I guess they are both technically true. But it's nothing more than a theory at this point. I think that they have a lot to do with the dimensional door we are supposed to be investigating. Nice to meet you, I guess. I only hear a ticking clock. Oh, that's because only us sinners can hear Dante's voice, huh? What's up? No, I'm just wondering how Miss Amia can seemingly understand Dante. Yeah, what's going on here? Yeah, it completely flew over my head when I didn't even question how weird this is. The voice sounds like a ticking clock to me too, but I don't know, it's almost like I can sense what they are trying to say. It's what kind of emotion they are trying to convey. Her explanation reminded me of the blue boy in Sinclair's Ouch! That kinda hurts today. Ouch. He deserved more than just being called the blue boy in Sinclair's past. But I didn't quite feel the uncanny sensation from Amia that I felt from them. So she can read me kinda like how Vegeta's can, I guess? And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's true. It's been a bit of a hassle to always need files on Honglu to translate for you, Dante. Yeah, apparently the others can't translate. I'd like to know exactly how she can understand Dante, but I don't think we've got the luxury of time to sit down and figure this out. So, are we heading back? Sounds like a plan. It's not like we know anywhere else to go, right? Oh, and Miss Rabbit, he'll be tagging along too. She said she'll help us find our way back. I'm glad to be working with you too, also, Miss Ishmael, Mr. Honglu. Took the words right out of my mouth. You already helped us plenty, and you clearly know a lot more about this place than we do. The journey is long. Perhaps embarking on it ere the sun's fall would be wise. How long's the journey? I have no idea. It's not like we have a clock with us. I do know that's not very far though. We just need to walk along the coastline for a bit. It's not like we have a clock. Scotty quietly points in my direction. Oh, Dante can't tell us the time because they are not on time. I'm not a clockhead. I didn't exactly choose to get myself a clock-shaped head. I looked away for Scotty's inquisitive eyes, which were quite solidly fixed on my head. The coasts of Iberia are hardly good places for people to live. Those things can go anywhere in this world, but they thrive at places that meet the ocean. So how did people manage to build a village at a place like this? What is it called? Sea bonds or sea terrors, yes? When it is true that they posed sudden difficulties, they were hardly the kind of monsters with the strength to bring scourge and drive out the local populace. Don't shut down based on that brief skirmish. She's just telling us to be on our guard, right? Scotty can be a bit curt, but she's not a bad person. I don't think she said anything wrong. Nothing rules out the existence of stronger variants of these creatures being out here. Scotty concerned on you served to fan my curiosity, but something about her expression communicated that I probably shouldn't pry. So I quietly quickened my pace as we walked to the village. We got like a pure encounter, it would make sense. But having been like a clear. Yet another line drawn. 50%. First time, EX, regular. I know, let's just go straight to it. Yes, that's fine. The village of the Dead Lighthouse. Just like a place a color would be. A lighthouse. It certainly looks like a village. It is more like the ruins of one, isn't it? It doesn't seem like they've done any proper upkeep to the place. Not in a while, at least. They're really here, living together. Strange buildings tell the stories of former prosperity from bygone days. Our steps leave no footprints on the wet and muddy ground. On it, I see a rotten sign marked with the name Faro Muerto. Everywhere I look in this village, I see evidence of long, silent abandonment. We don't see these kinds of abandoned-looking ruins often in the city either. Well, yeah, there's always someone or something out there waiting to capitalize on that free real estate. It's a free real estate. Be it a syndicate or a corporation, and fix it up. Better than this, at least. So, where are the signals? Ah, there's a clearing down there where... I wonder who that could be. We were entrapped betwixt a twain of great ships, narrowing winds against our sail. Ooh! And it is when young Ishmael boomed, a command most resonant. Say no more. I didn't even have to try to search for them. That unmistakably is a sonorous and familiar voice echoing triumphantly between the empty buildings. That's Don Quixote's voice, when she's sharing her adventurous tales. Ah. There she was, standing atop a low podium, like an actor on stage, regaining a group of people in rags with tales of our adventures, like a traveling thespian. Answer sea dogs! Awesome, man. This the moment Ishmael the first made a vessel Mephistopheles shall never... Stop! Hold on. Just what do you think you're doing? Young Ishmael unhand my mouth, for I was just about to regale them the most fantastic tale adventure at the great Manager Squire! Verily thou hast returned, with Manager Squire safely in tow. What? The phone clock, Running clock for her head. When I was a child, I heard a story about a legendary sarcasm with a flaming head. Why would someone like that visit our humble village? Well, the exterior may carry elements that inspire fear in some. There was no cause to for alarm. Yeah, it might look like that, but they are Dante, our manager, and the rest are... hello. I'm sorry, who are you two? They are two very nice people who helped us find Dante. This is Miss Amir, leader of Road Asylum. This is Miss Gaudi, their operator. They'll be coming along with us for a little while. With us? We believe that the dimensional door, which we at Road Asylum are investigating, has something to do with why you suddenly woke up here in Iberia. As Amir was bringing the sinners up to speed, the villagers who were staring at us curiously approached us. Did our conversation manage to convince them that we are not a threat? Sure hope so. You are friends of our saviors? Saviors? Verily, this is quite the grand title, yet that is indeed the word by which we are dressed. To be more precise, by saviors, they are referring only to Faust and Otis. Faust gave me a light nod when we made eye contact, but I could tell that her lips were drawing a very, very subtle smiling arc. So I'm guessing something did happen. We were quite mistrustful upon our initial arrival. What business do outsiders have here? What if they are from the Inquisition? Oh, I don't know. What do we do? After all we went through to get here. Calm yourselves, everyone. None of them are carrying that what appears to be these scriptures or lamps. Let's first try to see who they are. Man, I don't think they're gonna trust us anytime soon. They're all old comedians. Let's STNC, then PTSD. Hey, at least I understand PTSD. You can't do that, Ryosha. We can't storage the depots. It looks like they already have it hard enough as it is. I don't think STNC is a good way to get started either. Should we just find help elsewhere? Just look at how thin they are, sir. I don't think they're in any shape to help us out. Perhaps we could inquire as to our whereabouts, we are to decide our logging. This after they used to be our doom to lunacy savings. And is all it takes is one day to make all disappear just for the color banner. Yes! Yes! just like another Walpurgis. For me, it's just hoping to get one of the other tools that I'm missing, so I can exchange the other one. But the landscape is certainly reminiscent of E.G.O. I don't recall seeing or learning about any place that looks like this. Though I can't say I've been to every corner of E.G.O. So I don't want to see and got nothing. I got one E.G.O. I got one Arknights E.G.O. And then I got like 3 other E.G.Os and like 3 identities of like 210 points in total or something. 20. 230, I don't know. Is your hair Cooper? Yes, again, what business do outsiders have here? My fingers are tightening around the grips of the weapons. Prolonged silence will most likely turn this into a hostile encounter. We can have that. Hi, we are from Limbus Company. We're fixers of justice! Anything, I don't know. It's a good mindset to have. I do have a bit of a fear of missing out. Yeah, that fixes of Oi! Don't you know when to keep it down? Fixes? That over there. It's a ship blueprint, isn't it? They're looking to repair a vessel, by any chance? Or just construction materials seem to suggest so. Chief, this does not concern you. It's not something a mere outsider can understand. Curious, I've never seen an energy source like this before. Have you run the test to rule out any stability issues? It seems to power the heat exchanger via some method comparable to utilization of fusion energy. Have you any thoughts on this, Miss Faust? The general design structure is somewhat old-fashioned, but there certainly are inspired parts to this design, particularly with the usage of the core energy source. While its stability would need to be further studied, this technology seems to be incredibly energy efficient. Energy efficient? What are we talking about? In Kevlin? You identified all that merely by glancing at this blueprint? You must be the village chief then. If so, I have a proposition for you. In return for assisting in the ship repair, we were promised a ride on the vessel. Miss Faust has theorized that perhaps by going out to sea, we may be able to find a way to return whence we came. Does it mean we can find our way back somewhere out there in the sea? Nothing is certain yet, Dante. At this moment, we are working based on a hunch. Hunch? Sensing the implicit almond in her choice of words, I slowly turned around to look at Faust, who nodded solemnly in response. If we're really in a different world, even her Gesellschaft has to be no issues were encountered in the repair process. Faust smiles faintly as she looks around, and she pulls me in by my hems. She whispers in a low voice, "My connection to Gesellschaft is currently operating at a suboptimal level, Dante. So it's still connected, at least. It is. However, even exchanges of simple information are taking up to dozens of hours by current calculations. Is this a warp-train situation because we're in a different dimension? Because should be identical. We've been connected to an unidentified, unpredictable dimension. However, Faust is aware that the pathway to our original dimension is yet to close this time. I like the situation back about the warp train. So to get back to where we came from, indeed, traveling through the pathway is the most feasible solution. And from that, you came up with the whole plan to repair the ship and sail out into the sea? Yes, well, I'm almost a genius after all. Mia conjectured that we probably came through a dimensional door of sorts. Looks like the dimensional door might be what Faust is looking for. With high likelihood, yes. At least there's a way back. I find myself coming down a little. Oh, speaking of which, when do you think you can wrap up the repair job? As for future, you should have it. The majority of the most time-consuming parts of the repair have already been completed by the locals. It shouldn't take us more than a day or two to get its core parts ship again, Executive Manager. We'll be staying here for a few more days then. How did you manage last night? Well, like I said earlier, we've been keeping ourselves busy looking for you this whole time. We took turns helping with the repairs and resting, but I doubt any of us got a proper night's rest. So, we went cold. Thanks to the villagers who kept the fire going for us all night. Not to mention how they helped us a ton with that local map they drew us. Oh, also, Chief handed us this earlier. What's it for? Yeah, looks like a sack of collect water. Give it here. I know how to get it installed. Must be a repair. Miss Foster and Miss Otis after repairing the ship. Yet the service they provide us is certainly quite generous, even when taking the transactional nature into account. They're really giving us the best treatment they can, huh? As for food, we managed to fill ourselves with some cookies and bread Rode keeps in her pockets. Didn't want to eat into their food supply when they are already pretty tight, you know. She carries enough cookies and bread for 12 people. They did offer us some nosh, those dried fish things, but we refuse. I ain't about taking food from a needy. No need to concern yourselves so much of our hospitality. You've done more than enough to earn your keep. I don't want to look at the source of that low, ugly voice. And I saw an old man in an outfit that seemed to distinguish itself among the other villagers. There you are, Chief. Is there a place for us to stay tonight? You have places to shelter for the misty humidity, at the very least. There is an empty building there, so feel free to occupy it for the night. Oh? Are you sure? I mean, I don't mind living in the streets myself. Hey, speak for yourself. I've been looking forward to sleep with a roof over my head since like yesterday. You catch cold sleeping in the elements in this environment, which is fine for me. Fine by me for the rest of you. But we cannot afford to have the executive manager or our honored guest to suffer that fate. Honored guest? I heard what happened from the four who left in search of the executive manager. First, I would like to begin by imparting my infinite gratitude to you for finding and rescuing the executive manager. I hear that you are a leader of a pharmaceutical company. This acquaintance shall certainly come in handy, in case our stay becomes significantly prolonged. I'm just surprised by her boldness to say something so materialistic when they're standing right there. Can I stay in your village too, Chief? The village chief took a brief glance at the hems by her right wrist, then nodded. Welcome to Forum Muerta. You're welcome to stay for as long as you want. And please do let me know if you find yourselves without food. Our food supply may be tight in, but we have enough to share with those who help to repair the vessel. Oh, you better not go back on your word later. Well, what kind of local delicacies away? Treat fish like they were eating earlier, maybe? Hey, Chief. What is it? Just how are you surviving out there by the sea? Perhaps the question of how we are surviving may be somewhat misdirected. For we are only pursuing every possible avenue because we must survive. The chief response to Sagadi's perceived hospitality with a hearty smile. After leaving some firewood for the night, he left. I'm going. Can't have much more from here. You're in somewhere at this hour? Scotty, does this have something to do with the coast? Remember what you said before we got to the village? Something about how coasts are hardly good places to live in? And I wants to know if this has something to do with the coast. Do you understand the E.G.O language? E.G.O language? No. I just just spoke in Algerian. I couldn't understand a word of Scotty and the chief's conversation because I don't speak Algerian. It may only be that there were enough lexical similarities between one of the city's languages and the language Scotty spoke for them to comprehend the meaning. Weird coincidence. Anyway, I have some things to look into. Something you're all too slow to see. You still have to tell us about it later. Please remember you're not a solo mission. You're not on a solo mission, Scotty. This is a team effort for a road assignment. Will do. Scotty nodded lightly before leaping off into the night. Out of our sight. I'm kinda worried. She's not the best with people, but she's also pretty thoughtful. We'll be good. We'll be okay. Should we head inside? The sun's starting to set already. Oh, yeah. We can probably just pick in under the building and stay in the night there, right? Trying our best to ignore the mood that was starting to turn off. We made our way into a nearby unoccupied building. Day 2. Kara. I could do a pull. I could do a single pull. Should I do a single pull every time I can? I mean, it would be good. Especially for more battle stages. For a slight chance of getting an E.G.O. Well, what's everyone saying? Should we do single pulls as much as possible? Unsatisfying. I mean, I do get it, but I've never really thought of them that way. I'm more thought of single pulls as a strategic way on not getting replicas of gacha gifts, which is kind of impossible to avoid in the Limbus Company. One of the E.G.Os with a single pull earlier. I got multiple E.G.Os with a single pull earlier. Like for example, Kevin is waiting. Or another example, Crushbound Pass. Or we just do it, but what he wants to advertise. Being association manager, okay, at least. Fishing Karen and lifetime. Would have been great if I got like quite early everything here, everything on there, so I could everything early here, and maybe try and get manager, maybe. I mean, in technically speaking, I already got Shing Association while pulling here. Oh yeah, I'll go with the single pulls. They help out much more with my current situation. Even though this is satisfying effect on 10 pulse gone by it. Maybe an upgrade. Maybe an upgrade. Oh. But yeah, good. Was this some of the better ones? Alright, let's continue. This is like one of the coolest. I mean, technically speaking, I could go for poles there. An odd priority than title elegy. But yeah, should I say for the E.G.O for the increased chance, or go for the go for the tickets? That would be nice to know. Your opinions on that? Should I go for the 20 pulls or the E.G.O? We passed a few narrow buildings and remnants of narrow buildings before we came across a hall large enough to house all 15 or so of us. I think E.G.O first, get more points. I think from a statistic point of view, the E.G.O is better. Okay, now we are ready. With the curtains on the window removed, the smug has an exit. Right, I guess we go first with the E.G.O. Thanks for the input, guys. But we don't get busy, aren't we? Practically, but I keep on busy. Well, I thought we were doomed to shut ourselves to sleep with the soaking wet firewood and all. I had no idea that worked. Anyway, who cares about probability and math? We just have to get a small fire going underneath it until the wood dries up and catches fire. The downside being all the smoke. It's clear that she has some field experience, unlike some fools I know. I shan't sit here and let her carry the burden of labor alone. Bequeath upon me thine ingredients, young Rodion, for I shall conjure thee a pot of special fixer soup. You're making soup with cookies and jelly? No, you're not getting away near the kitchen again. Not after what you cooked up last time. You're speaking of the question in Hell's Kitchen, Barker. Well, I must admit, due to a certain level of interest. As many of our fellows viscera are oft racked with intense agony upon ingesting dishes of your making. Perhaps it would be wiser that we save the occasion for a safer environment. Right. Don't you remember we agreed to leave cooking tomorrow or OT? If we're ever in a situation like this, remember? Did we? See, I think it's become sort of an unspoken rule after everything that happened. Remember back during last year's cooking contest at E.G.O? They were the only two people who managed to get remotely positive reviews. Oh, doesn't mean we get to try out just cooking once again. Denied. We still have plenty of high calories foods like cookies and jellies here. I found no reason to do something so inefficient. I'm glad to see that everyone's still energetic, given the circumstances. It can be easy to suddenly wake up in an unfamiliar environment. Well, we are all quite used on getting thrown into unfamiliar places. Speaking of which, did you manage to reach your colleagues, Amir? She shook her hand concerned. They might have lost their comms devices, or maybe they ran into some other trouble. Could they be in danger? I don't know, but I'm sure they're okay. The Dr. K. Cultist They're both more than capable enough to look after themselves. If this curiosity lingered within me, this allowed me to inquire. Corporations are, by their nature, organizations in the pursuit of profit. The activities of your corporation resemble those of charity organization, as opposed to a pharmaceutical company. Is there art that might explicate this blood distinction? What did I know too? How come a pharmaceutical company like Rhodes Island helping people? Something about what Honolulu said brings back unpleasant memories. The horrible experiments, seen through the casket of flowing tears in the face of suffering. The embodiment of a grade that left a terrible one on Honolulu's families. The pharmaceutical companies I have seen in my journey were corporations that, despite possessing the capacity to heal, chose to obsess over the profit it can provide. There are many in Terra who are suffering from a disease. The disease crystallizes you, it spreads deeper and deeper into the infected internal organs, eventually culminating to in their death. It's called Oripithy. Mia shot me the back on her right hand, floated by what appeared to be obsidian crystallization. It appearance reminded me of the biotreatments from the back streets, but there was something more to it, something more restless, more sinister. It's a terrible painful disease, but there haven't been any record cases of full recovery. There's an even worse problem. Brighter, what could possibly be worse than an incurable deadly disease? While it varies region by region, discrimination against the infected is widespread across Terra. Those who suffer from it must face unfair treatment. The thing began with a dark explanation. Some are quarantined in places with terrible inhumane conditions, and they have been massacred too. I don't mean to be careless, but is this obesity highly contagious? No, there have not been any record of the cases of infection by contact, as long as the subjects are alive. But when the infected dies, the crystal grows on the body and turns into dust, shattering which is what spreads the plague. In varying environments, like active battlefields, where casualties are to be expected, saying within close proximity of the infected in daily life seems to pose hardly any risk. So what's the problem then? They already passed that point caring about what the problem is. Once people start feeling iffy, all logic goes out of the window. Rhodes Island's goal has to be, yes, it is important to develop a cure for Oripithy, but I think what really matters is that we change the circumstances for the better for the infected. It's not going to be an easy endeavor, so that is what gives your effort meaning. I hope you can achieve what that goal, Mia. I really do. But truth. The city, this world. We both in this world. We both live in worlds. Full of surprises, don't we? Where did you come from? The city? What kind of place is the city anyway? The kind of place with too many pointless routes. The kind of place where the moment you think isn't this too much, you see something even worse. Try as I might, I couldn't think of a single positive thing about the city. The sinners seem to be in agreement, as most of what came after was quite scathing. The kind of place where good deeds rarely ever get unpunished. Where sympathy is a good attitude to have. If you like getting stabbed in the back, nothing good ever works out there. It's a shithole. It's a shithole. It's an irrational place, full of absurdities. Absurdity is an omnipresence. Therefore, it is not subject by which one should be aggrieved. What kind of is gross about them? I mean, it's the only thing we can do. It would be more correct to experience more than acclimatize oneself to it instead of complaining. You did say something like that last time. Just as the mood was on to turn sour, and the shot shattered through the awkwardness. Verily, nary they goeth by untarnished by villains and they fair deeds. Yet worry thee not, for where evil riseth, so doth fixers of justice too. Don Quixote there from his seat and passionately shook her head, which was followed by a heavy crack and the sound of small pebbles tumbling down. Don Quixote, watch out! What? Huh. And from behind the wall we accidentally broke down. An unfamiliar visage of a villager appeared instead of Don Quixote. It appeared that she was eating something out of a can when reading a book. How farest thou? Farest thy foot? You gotta purchase first! Last him put had to hide for it, right? Apologies, I had to hardly, for I hardly expected the wall to crumble with such ease. Art thou unhurt? Any injuries? Pray tell, to what? Forget the apology, I just want to know what happened next. What happens next? The fix of justice rose up to what? Oh, has there come to me to hear the hail of fixes? I don't know about coming to us, given how Miss Don Quixote was the one who patched the wall down. Is it too late? Is it too late now? I don't mind waiting 10 more if you wanna sleep. Nay, not at all. This quite already have an hour of tales and fate. Privy seat thyself here. Yeah, I'm governor of a fool. Calm down. We don't need that. We need to know who she is. And don't you forget to share those fixer tales over there in the corner to not disturb us. Thou makest a request most untenable. These tales deserve to be announced to the world with great gusto from the center. Yeah, that's the best way to hear those kinds of stories. But we should probably introduce ourselves each other first. Name's Mayus. How should I put it? How should I put this? Did you meet the village chief earlier during the day? He's my cramps. Oh, that's not. Oh, that nice guy? He had a granddaughter? Yeah. Yet. I've not seen you once, Miss Mayers. Miss Mayers under the sun. Oh my, you're right. I thought the village was completely dry of any young fruit. destroyer of any young child. Like what they said. But we didn't see Mayas up there. Well, there wasn't anyone else in the village. Or could be. I love the seashore sound so much. It's so calming, the music. And like I said, well, we didn't see Mayas up there. There wasn't anyone else in the village we could comfortably call young. You're telling me Gramps was worrying over nothing and told me to stay put inside? Going on and on about the danger, the outside powers and everything. I love it. It's so calming. It's like a great music to just have in the background and go sit in and just sleep. I don't know about the dangers that the outsiders pose on everything. It seems that they do not get full faith, but they say this. So, it seems that they do not give full faith to their saviors, survivors. There are things you cannot share, even with whom trust, with your life. Things you cannot share, even with whom you trust with your life. Though I would like to know why. My. So there are a bunch of other kids. It's so calming, I love it. And then send me the video file of it. So there are a bunch of other kids who are stuck indoors, like this version. No, there isn't anyone around my age in the village at all. If that's the case, I guess I can understand why he'd be overprotective. Anyways, it's your turn. We are. I'm good. I had enough with the good night. You did? Good, Ray. How did thou hear us? Alright. Oh, but I really want music. Pray, how didst thou hear us? We are listening device mostly with upon our chin. May have tapped the side of the wall. Part of it was just this, was there standing anyway. And smashed, ironic. That's something. I could hear pretty much everything Don Quixote, right? Having them killed, the practically sang through the day. That's pretty much typical, though. Verily, I see. I think you could really do with some sense of embarrassment for once. Well, I guess that's good enough for self-introduction, so... Cadric gave me with the tale of fixer who bring justice to evil of the city. Indubitably. Then, this should do. I should regale the tale in which the legendary fixer, the arch magnificent herself, the Red Mist, hath. Ooh. The Red Mist Mansion. Ooh. That's a big drop. Is that the Red Mist? And you'd like to have a soundboard where I just can press one button and it just starts the first few notes of the Red Mist. Yeah, I spoke that kid anyhow, but for a good night skip. And don't you usually pass out within a minute of the back? Yeah, a minute of your back, hearing the hay, no matter how noisy things are. What? You take me for some kind of hibernating bear or something? Look, I am. Even I can trouble sleeping when there's noise all over. I think he's there. I would say bear in hibernation is pretty apt descriptive. For that rumbling and moaning, he does stuff before any of us could. The relief began snowing the moment his head touched the ground. Some other sinners were fast asleep as well. Most of his ended sleep in his usual. Man, I love so much. Please, did you find yours? If you find yours, so please send it to me with your done with the interval. Yeah, awesome. It's so cool. I love it. Like the drums in the background. It's just calm. It's just calm. Anyways, story. Mozart had ended sleep in his usual steadfast adherence to the routine. My first late call on one of the few available clothes sheets as soon as the close of business for the day was confirmed. The sailors who had spent the entire last night searching for me in this unfamiliar land slowly began to fall asleep as well. Meanwhile, the Fix of Zwei Association first section. No, the night was no longer young. And Kyoto was still rigorously sharing the tales of sharing the tales of adventures without even a single sigh of fatigue. I wish I had that kind of fatigue, never showing up. Just want them to do this until sunrise, is she? Ah, I guess it's okay since Maya seems to be having fun. So I continue to watch the pair of some mild concern, me and not yet asleep, approach me. This city Miss Don Quixote speaks of seems to be teeming with fixers of justice and exhilarating tales of adventures. Did you actually experience all of them yourselves? No, of course not. Don Quixote's stories are usually those of other famous fixers, other famous people. First of all, stole the show. What happened? What happened? Hey, what happened? If they free damage with a skill free, it is the most valued employee with 422 damage. No one bothered did all the thing. She's standing here with such vigor, and it almost sounds like she was there herself. I guess if you really want to get into it, some of them might be retellings of Don Quixote's personal experiences. Ishmael replied uncertainly, thinking back to the place we were made to watch back in the Marchland. Well, I think all those stories, even though they are only partially true, it's going to show what ridiculous place it can be. We wouldn't need fixers of justice to begin with, if we really lived in a just world, right? A really good place to live would be quiet and peaceful, without someone having to force it. That's true. Yep. There come a day when Rhode Island can be a normal pharmaceutical company in the future. Okay, that's it. Pharmaceutical company in the future. Wherever did you came in? What's wrong? No, I just thought Miss Mayers and I made eye contact. Is she overhear our conversation? I looked to her direction as well, and all I saw was Mayers' excited reaction to Don Quixote today. Wow, what happened then? Thus spake Lady Otis, boldly before the soldier who stopped in our path. Now presumed master instead of our path, servants of a master most unknownly. I ought to shall entreat ye on how many maketh. Don Quixote was now telling the story of Limbus Company's adventure in Hong Yuan, and Otis, who could no longer stand Don Quixote's unintentional alteration of the story, jumped to her feet and shouted, "Man, what kind of nonsense are you feeding here? I've never said anything like that." Barely, certain aspects of the retail may have been exaggerated. Aha! That's tales of adventures for you. That takes adventures for you. It's about to get a bit dry when a story is told too. realistically and as is right. You know, nothing, not even anything resembling a proper record of a book remained once the profound silence swept through this village. The sweeper. Goodly. So, I've always had a craving for these kinds of stories. Iberia doesn't stop barbarians from imitating. Constantly on the tight immigration control. Have you ever thought about leaving this place? There's just the border, especially since we are going to have to pass through the larger cities that were managed by the Inquisition. You don't seem particularly fond of this Inquisition. Why is that? It's because this village was formed by people who grew tired of living under the Inquisitions. That's because this village was formed by people who grew of tired of living. Hmm. Hmm. So this village was formed by people who grew tired of living under the Inquisition rule and fled. Sorry, but what kind of organization is this Inquisition? St. Clair's face turning covered upon hearing the word the Inquisition. And that people fled from. Yeah, they're now gonna hum a whistle back at the call on the kind of memories that are so easily forgotten. But I did. But I did! According to Dr. Kaiser, the Inquisition is what filled the power vacuum once Iberia fell into chaos. It's the Inquisitors are the rapier and willing protectors of Iberia. Say this from flawlessness. That alone makes me sound like good people, though. Yeah, they are, but it's a church of the deep. The Inquisition will go to whatever length to deal with the incident related to the church. Their ships are sea bonds. Phew! An organization that worships those monsters. It seems that cultish fantasize me so. It seems that this fanaticism is a plague wherever we go. I feel like people with all kinds of wrong faiths and beliefs are so common. See, the sea bonds are the ones that mess the Iberia up. So, I follow their logic. Apparently, it's okay for them to survive. see. The Seaborns are the ones that mess with Iberia. So following the logic, apparently it's okay for them to arrest anyone who seems to be even remotely connected to them. You think that Iberia is like this because of the Seaborns? Those things from earlier. I guess someone kind of troublesome to deal with, but they didn't seem that strong. Anyways, it's just that I heard from Gramps, but Inquisition executed many innocent people too in their crusade against the Church of the Deep. Church of the Deep? It's generally interesting phrase for place. For those who proclaim to be on the side of justice, they seem quite fond of committing such a villainy. It seems like a reasonable policy decision to me. But I must pose a clear danger to the daily lives of civilization. Yeah. I heard I was the only survivor. Everyone in my family died. You must have had to share such a long period of pain. To be able to say something like that with such composure. For Iberia, we are heroes who will bring the land back to its glory days. But Rams, they were just oppressors and making his life difficult. That's why they were all. That's why we've all come here, fleeing from the Inquisition. That's why we all come here, Yet, wherefore hast thou decided to settle at a place that is so run down? Indeed. Yeah, I know. It's not so bad once you get used to it. Besides, we managed to find a new path thanks to you guys. New path. Well, it's getting late. You'll be repairing the ship tomorrow too? This bridge really has no sound improving at all, huh? Good talk, everyone. Hope you get another chance to do this tomorrow too. After seeing Maya to her own room, the sinners, those who were still out, and I laid out this. The mayor's in her own room, there are sinners, those who were still up. Anyway, and I laid ourselves on the hard stone floor with the other, with only a thin layer of cloth between it and our backs. A mysterious world that is neither the city nor the outskirts. But it seemed that the lives its people led. The lives its people led were just as difficult as they were anywhere else. Okay. Bit more. Guess the masters. But yeah, I'll be right back. I need to grab some stuff. Do something. That's not gonna take too long. So stay patient, okay? Thy has returned. Almost at 100. But yeah, I'm gonna close another point. Oh yeah, clear within 15 turns. Oh. Yeah, everyone.
군주가 나
의로운 세우기.
이,
오필도
네.
이번 의뢰는 몇 발이나 들고 가야 하냐?
어디 주군께서 모이를 뿌리셨으니
First of all, oh yeah, I can check. Okay, yes. Lumen's Law off? I think? Yeah.
명을
So
받든
E.G.O, you come with us, and then I would say Rodo.
잠깐. 보는 눈은
And then E.G.
어디서 엠기어가는 수군께서 모이를 뿌리셨으니
이제야 부르나.
어디서
이제야
허점에 두지
뜀박질
There you go.
시가.
So big. That's what she said. Amazing. I didn't know there were many vessels on this class in Iberia. Aha! A SPN name here. It's called by the name of Rebellion de las Masas. Rebellion de las Masas. Revolt of the Masses. Is it? A name very much mirrored in peculiarity indeed. Onlu chimed in that he was rather fond of its size, having amount the same as the boat from his home. But Ishmael quickly jumped in to correct us that its size alone wasn't anything special at the Great Lake, but it was still pretty big compared to Matthew on the Indigo's elder skill. You're comparing little. I thought it was going to be somewhere around Matthew's size. At most. Are you sure you can get this ship fixed in a day or two? As I briefed you yesterday, the great majority of the time-consuming repairs have already been completed by the villagers. The extent of our repair efforts only concerns the few components within the vessel that the villagers could not repair, which couldn't take us much time. Which shouldn't make us much time. Shouldn't take us much time. Unless parts that are unfamiliar to Faust are also malfunctioning, such as the core engine, remaining repairs should be sufficiently managed by Faust. Despite Otis' confident declaration, I could not help but feel oddly unsettled as I looked at the ship. I couldn't know why, but something tells me that we don't want to linger here for too long. So please be thorough about it, just in case. I'd rather not sit on a sinking ship again. The experience at the Great Lake was enough. Not very, Dante. Unlike Mephistopheles, most functions of the vessel, buoyancy gear, propeller steering gear, and audio operational capacity, this repair should be much easier than the case which Mephistopheles. They seem confident enough. Should we say safe this time around, right? Are we taking that rope that climb up to the ship? No, there's a lift-like apparatus on here. It should take us up to the ship. Stability was verified yesterday. Let us aboard the lift. You're 100% certain, right? The boat is afloat right now, Dante. I don't think it'll be sinking anytime soon. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Oh, well, you're just going too far for boat down here. We're heading up now. No, we are going with you. As I made my way into the vessel's bridge, I was greeted by the extravagant interior that it was as gaudy as its exterior. This isn't really God, is it? Sure, it's shiny as heck in here. I've got butterflies in my stomach. A.S. Aesthetically satisfying, she says. Too ostentatious. Not quite my style. Our young Matthew is also quite the excellent vessel. Yet imagine the adventure we could embark on aboard this vessel, most lavishly decorated. As Foss and Otis were working off the control panels, Ishmael walked up to another and interfaced with it, before giving a knowing nod. This must have been an investigate or research vessel of sorts. But it does seem a bit extravagant for one of those. Look, coordinates updating in real time. It seems the coordinates seem to have been set to somewhere in the middle of the ocean. Maybe it wants a small islet. Nope, no islet there. Whoa! Blameless. You should know how to sneak up on people. Mayors? What? Did I actually surprise you? I didn't ask if you guys were gonna come fix the boat today. Still, I didn't know you'd be here. Why are the coordinates set in this location? There are several undersea cities beneath the coordinates, collectively known as E.G.O. Graham's Hill. I see. Understood. What was understood, if I may ask? It is now understood why the promise to repair this ship was sufficient to earn their trust at the little of favors. What's she's on about? Someone get translating. Considering and cross-referencing the observed particular circumstances of the village and the statement of the village chief, alongside the information gained from the exchange with mayors, it is possible to gauge the significance this ship's repair has to be a local populace. Of course, what is may considered a sequence of logical connection that possess a certain challenge for a Heathcliff to comprehend. Of course, while this may consider a sequence of logical connections that possess a certain challenge for Heathcliff to comprehend. To employ any degree of effort to attempt to explain it in more digestible language would consider it a pursuit of inefficiency. Lower the burden, I implore you. I shall explain it. I was wondering when Miss Smart so would study gabbing like that again. So what's she on about? If the shoulders were relaxed, it didn't seem like he was actually going to swing that bad. She placed it lightly above his shoulder with a thumb. A brief observation of the village seemed to suggest that the subsistence situation was quite dire. Much of the daily sustenance considered of dreadful, most of them made for long-term storage. Considering what Scotty said about how the coastal areas are full of danger, maybe those dried seafood aren't from around here either. What's their plan? I'm not really coming up with anything. Diets even aren't from around here either. Maybe it's food they packed when they first came to Farum Muerta? Some villagers were harmed, yeah, and those sea terrors were unexpected that formidable, but given the state the villagers are in, I doubt they did have any easy time repelling those monsters. Yeah, no. I thought I found an easy time repelling those monsters. Indeed. And it brings us to the question of the sustenance. Right. I bet what's going on. I get what's going on here. Les and her granddad are about to visit their hometown, and they're trying to get some food supplies from there to feed the villagers. And to convince them, they're planning to use the fact that they are from the same neck or towards. Alright, I guess. Oh, so you're not just repairing the ship? You're just repairing the ship. You're repairing the food supply plan too. Huh? What's wrong? It's, well, the expressions were rather crude. At least the summary of the situation was clear. The opponent had easily understood that the sinner stared at him quite surprised. I did too. What's with that man knowing looks? Wait, all you salts. You don't think I'm that dim-witted, do you? Top-notch intuition. It's just that it's been a while since you've shown this side of yours. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition always been excellent. And he had even put up together surprisingly accurate. Thinking back, Heathcliff's intuition always been excellent. And he even put together surprisingly accurate. Conclusions with impressive speed. You know, when you really think about it, it's kind of your fault, huh? Kind of like your fault for I've been too soft on you lately, haven't I? Get back here. No, with those fools out of the conversation, was he correct? Otis looks away and a usual chaos smiles. Honestly, I'm surprised. He was on point. Yeah, food and running low on the village. At this rate, we won't last another year. But the E.G.O, I'm sure they'll welcome us with open arms. I don't want to come off like an overly worried, but I think that they will welcome to others too. Unlike mayors or chief, they are not E.G.O. I believe they will. The barrier suspects and hates E.G.O for no other reason than that we are from the sea. The barrier suspects and hates the E.G.O for no other reason than that we are from the sea, but our home cannot have fallen so low as to abandon a group of starving land dwellers. Prithee, might thou explain to us who the E.G.O is? I'd initially thought it would be a reference to a region. It also seems to be a refer to an affiliation of sorts. Maybe they're coming like something like a nest fellas. I don't think I've had a nest that accepts bags with people and with open arms. Oh, maybe that just is AI. Maybe they used some rich folk. If they call them nests of half a year, then must make the rabbit eat less a year too. If they call a nest tough, say here, then does it make the rabbit eat less a year too? Wait, in the world you came from, do you not distinguish between races? That's not entirely true. Delineation between races is a concept that does exist. Though I only saw them in the films, there were those terrifying things called the goosebumps. However, as a general rule, it can be said that the humans are... excuse me. The humans should be the only intelligent life form in the city. The people of Terra have slightly varying appearance depending on the race, like my Countess is. And I've got plenty ears because we're in E.G.O. Oh, it's not a characteristic every E.G.O shares. The closest idea to what they're discussing appears to be, seems to be struggling to finish her sentence. Watcher stepped in to continue. The context clues and the manner of word usage, including the means of clarification and the closest example of the word would be bloodfins, similar external appearance of humans, different nature compared shit and sapiens. This of my belief that bloodfins are ostracized due to their nature that make of coexistence with humans difficult. Maybe that they are also. I'm sure some of them do possess qualities that make coexistence with others difficult, but they're probably rare. Then, whether are they made to suspect, suspicion and hatred? That's... well... I imagine you. Well, the language is new, but the idea itself, pretty familiar to the city folks like us. Think of the feathers of fawns. Think of feathers of fawn wings. Think of the feathers of fawn wings. The kids spawn in the backstreets. People who replace their body parts with prosthetics. Form differs, yet in its essence, we found the trend. We found the thread. Something about how we keep finding these similarities, but the way into our lives. Something about how we keep finding these similarities in the ways of our lives, despite finding ourselves in a distant world with the different roots, races, and humans. But all this comforting. At this point, you guys are going to going out. At this point is you guys are going to use a real solid, but if fixing up the ship. Let's move on from these gloomy conversations, okay? I want to show you the color parts of this shirt. Let's move on. Let's do this shirt this way. The ship door may have the wait. The piece almost completed, but an issue has arisen. Simply. Issue? Well, we're getting into some great part. And another one. Wow, that's not reassuring at all. What about life on Southern ahead? Assumed to be a sea terror horde. The ship's radar system seems to suggest that the vessel is surrounded. Yeah, the same monsters from yesterday. Executive manager, please order us to prepare for battle. Damage. Are they the sea towers you encountered? They look a bit different, but yeah, probably. There's a lot of them, but if our last experience tells us anything, we should be able to handle this. Amiya, please support us in the battle like you did yesterday. And still fight, young Mayos? I feel like I'm just gonna get in your way. Then let's find a place to keep Mayor as far away as possible from the battle. Then let's hurry down there. We don't want them damaging the ship any further.
이상이요.
저희를 헤아릴 수 없다면
행색이
그
이상하다.
용도를 고민하는 것이
그리고
상책이지.
이상이요. 내가 맞서. 내가 아시의 이상을 함께 주. 호위.
Is
이상.
it going strong?
목을 콱 물어버리자.
Yeah, it's nice.
지금은 좋았어요.
모든 것에
The Sega spray. There's a dog. Ooh.
예상한 움직임이 더 좋고.
깔끔한 해주셔.
퉁퉁투성이네.
머리통이 적절났다고.
敵は深手を負っています
한화 휴지.
So, one,
개인의 골몰증.
1, 2, 2.
전념하시오.
목을 콱 물어버리자.
Fast turn on using first skills.
끝내지. 옳다.
키울 수도 없겠구나.
エリートオペレーターの
How many are there? Huh, plenty. Time for round 2, baby.
헤어내리.
마음 놓고 열어졌지. 바람 들어오는 대로
깨치시.
빨바라. 도끼를 보자. 저 해충들을 도려내라.
이제 깨치시긴.
묘야.
무하고
길을 열어라. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
ドクターのように優れた式ですね。
시간 끌 것 없이 모조리 치워버리죠. 이제 깨치시긴. 이제 깨치시긴.
Mission accomplished. That's a lot of fun. Mission accomplished.
쉽지 않았습니다. 의를 다루
예.
생각을 좋아했으니 내일은 더 떳떳이 살아갈 수 있겠군요.
That's a run. Alright, yeah, we have another one to go. Another one. Maybe we get one. These flowers. Oh. Unchaotic. My shots look right now. Alright.
야밤의 달빛과 함께
Alright.
사라진
I could almost do a 10 point. But we said we are going to title Elegy. Is this going to be one that I think, yeah. By clearing this, we should get the Lunacy. Small tide. Why is it a small tide? Why can't it be a glow tide? Haha. You know,
차!
죽음께서 모이.
이제야
어디 서점에 두지. 착수.
Yes, of course.
何か変化が
행색이.
Counter. Just the effect you can do.
내가 맞서.
Nervous impairment.
함께 줬던.
It's the 30 stacks. Become staggered, then take fixed damage equal to 25% and then remove this effect. That's an alright effect. Nothing too major. Mamory!
大きな打撃を与え 충분해. 너한텐 지금 알겠지만.
첩보자. 예상한 것보다 움직임이 더 좋구나.
모든 것을 견뎠어.
敵は深手を負っています。
시간 끌 것 없이
힘이 속이면
모조리
特訓のように
치워버리죠.
優れた式ですね。
누구 하나 살려두지 마라.
Serious fellas.
시간은 좋았어요.
고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
본인의 승리일세.
敵は深手を負っています。
태어내리.
물 넘고 꺾고 제쳐라.
지원해.
いざ攻撃でなくても
오려내라.
だったし
깨 지시. 놀랐어?
토끼를 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나.
미워하군. 이제 깨 지시게.
묘여. 길을 열어라.
ダンテ君の作戦とても効果的でした。効果的な攻撃でした。
네 목숨은 아직 따로 쓸 곳이 있다.
エ
적을
リートオペレーターの皆
너의
様です。
쓸모를 보여라. 날개를 펼치고 발톱을 걸어.
Bird up!
말로 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 저 해주를 도려내라. 오히려 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나. 마음은 높고 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나. 혈액도 봐라. 몰아넣었으니 더는 못
That's my chicken.
敵は深手を負っています。
태어내리.
바람 들어오는 대로 집절봐라. 목을 떨고 넌 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
시간은 좋았어요.
That's time to start. The remaining entities have all returned to sea. Is everyone okay? It was just like our last skirmish. The sea terrors that had surrounded the ship returned to sea even before the battle came to an end. and the retreat felt too orderly and deliberate to be just running away. It's almost like they are making a tactical retreat. We're doing peachy. But what about the ship? What about the ship? Is the ship okay? Minor damages to the hull, but nothing that will impede the ship's operational capabilities. Yeah. So I noticed during the battle, I might be wrong, of course, but I think I noticed how around the end of the battle, some monsters were starting to go after the manager. You're probably right, actually. I noticed too. At some point in our battle, those monsters realized that it's the manager who's commanding the rest of us. I sensed the very same. The movements were fluid and adaptive, as though they were learning our behavior. Why does the Church of the Deep worship monsters like them? That ain't much of a question, ain't it? They must have all gone mental. I'm sure they have many reasons, but Seabonds are beings of infinite potential, so much so that there's no superlative being enough to probably convey the scale. As organisms, they can endlessly evolve and adapt. Every time they encounter a new environment or a new element, they transform themselves and other Seabonds. Maybe that's what I draw. The fascination may be an attitude most befitting a researcher. Yet the transformation of fascination into ideology is, if I may be frank, not quite positive. I find them pretty uncomfortable. They just remind me of whales. Then they attempt to learn a language to communicate with us? What? Going by everything we heard, I think they sound really smart. Maya's eyes went round on Lou's suggestion. She brought her hands to her mouth suppressed. It sure was something. I heard that there was a Seaborn who could talk. If then humans speak the language of human, regardless of its testament to the intelligence, I can only think two possibilities. I can only think of two possibilities as to why they would. One, to communicate with humans, the other to humans. More often than not, it's the latter. What about distortions? Some of them already know how to speak. Distortions are phenomena in which humans transform into monstrous forms. First observed after the White Night and Dark Days incident. Therefore, that example is relevant to Otis' supposition. White nights and dark days. She whispered quietly as though we are standing rather close to her. We are called on with the hint of joy in her voice. The pit of light in the city. Did you really? How have you come across this knowledge, Miss Myers? I wonder. How does she know? Indeed. How does she know? Could she know? Oh, that's... Ain't it obvious? You're the culprit one here. The storyteller Lazarus been gabbing on with no end. Yeah, she's been talking non-stop all morning about all kinds of stories. Passion say, who? Yet I have not forgotten that fact. You again. You didn't get so lost in your own stories that you blabbered all about our company's secrets, have you? Nay, Fee, I was simply not. Slankiota was subject to yet another round of scolding, and Mia stared out toward the sea. Ready to see terrorism might start crawling to the surface once again, while turning towards us. I wonder which of the two the Seaborns are. The sense of self is really faint. But I don't think that would be either. I think it's possible that they learned human language under instinct. I think it's possible that they learned human language out of instinct. That the power of speech might help them survive. It appears that you, Miss Myers, are quite the expert on the subject of sequels. Your knowledge of them must be beyond what fear for once survived. May he. Thereby suggesting a different means of acquisition. Do you, by chance, worship the Seaborns? I don't worship Seaborns. Seaborns don't have any hope or wishes, just desire to survival. Miss Myers, doesn't mean the Seaborn were somehow able to hope? Maybe so. Is that so? The repairs are complete. And we were conversing first descended from the ship with a neatly organized set of tools borrowed from the village. Repairs complete. I'm guessing repairs are done. Yes, the ship is ready to set sail. Did you have a departure time and date in mind? I would prefer if we could depart as soon as possible. We don't have to set a time or anything, but I think we should be able to set sail at this late afternoon at the earliest. That soon? As you've seen, we don't have too much to bring with us. By the way, how far out to sea do you guys need to go? We need to find this dimensional door of sorts. I can see the dimensional doors of the light from the beach at night. It was thin, but given how the lights is strong enough for it to even to break through the seafood, they should be able to determine its location somewhere around the coastline waters. It was faint, but given how the light is strong enough to break through the sea fog, we should be able to determine the location somewhere around the coastal waters. So, we can go back tonight? The first order of business is to relay the information to the village. Yeah, back to the village for now. Beautiful sister, Lord.
또 한 줄의 길을 담겼다. 핏물진 길일 뿐이지만 세월이 지나 홍문은 그제야 알게 되겠지.
And then,
이 홍문
that's what this is. Terrible. Right, time to do some more parts and hopefully get on the 220th pull. Please. Oh. Maybe this one? Great. But how about this one? Oh. So yeah. We would be able to do a 10-4. We would be able to do a 10-4 by exchanging. Could do that. I kind of miss the regular rewards of just lunacy being there, like in other gacha games. I kind of miss that the option. I mean, they are the tickets. So it's just seeing that like lunacy to exchange it, so I kind of miss. So before ending for today, since we're quite fitting with the time, and the current location is also nice. Being 1 foot done, and then tomorrow doing the second one, then more. Maybe next time we do more, since it's Friday by then. Maybe even. But I'll leave it at that for today. I'm also getting a bit tired. So I wanna give the question one time. Should I save up for the title energy, or actually do a 10-4 for the end of the stream? What is the heart desires? Come on, I'm asking for opinions. But I'm not here to sway anyone. I just want the impact. Fine. That's a way to phrase it. Anyone else don't wanna put their thoughts in? No? Okay. We'll end this stream with a 10 on Dante. No. And so we get something out of the 10 Maybe upgrade? Aww. Hey, I got medal, fine. Now that I got medal, now he comes back for more.
야밤의 달빛과 함께 사라지는 것이.
Yeah, this was the first part of the pilgrimage of compassion. Still starting off. We're still far away from this scene. But yeah. In the meantime, I will use the energy that I'm burning up to clear some of the content of the hard difficulty. I don't really think there's gonna be that much different. Just imagine like the counter scale get a Borkak with getting a hard mode difficulty. And you just have to fight Ricardo, but even stronger. Yeah. So yeah, certainly we didn't got nothing off the last temple. But we will see each other again tomorrow, next time, when we continue with the pilgrimage of compassion. So be hyped how the story continues onward with it. And until next time, if everyone takes good care of themselves, and goodbye.